Hello and welcome back to Curbstomp City, and today we're going to be covering the TEW 2020 announcement that's just happened on the forum a couple of days ago. And of course, if you want to go and check this thread out yourself, there is a link in the description below, but basically we're just going to run through it in this video. So it says here, the original aim was to release the game in the summer of 2020. However, things have been progressing so well that I suspect we may now be looking at as early as Christmas 2019. So a year away from now. So that's a decent while, but we don't want them to rush it, so I'm okay with that. We've got a year left, and that also means we may potentially have a year left of ECW Lives. Let me know what you think about that one in the comments. So it says here, the game has been under development for some time and will have likely to had about 2 years of work before it is released. The reason that it's taken so long, about double what it would normally do, is because it's the biggest, most ambitious project to date, so that sounds exciting. Usually, TEW games get written on top of the previous one. This is the most effective way to do it, as it means I don't have to reinvent the wheel each time. The drawback of this is that some often requested features are simply not possible because of the structure/architecture cannot support them. So for TEW 2020, I've instead completely taken apart the game and rewritten it. So what he's saying is basically just rewritten the game from scratch. He's rewritten the underlying architecture, each featuring back one by one, revamping and upgrading as I go along. The end result is that while you're still going to recognise the game being part of the TEW series, it is effectively a much sharper, quicker, more intuitive, better quality piece of work. This is going to be the biggest jump forward in terms of quality the series has ever seen. And he's also said, I can say that with confidence because it's already been blowing TEW 2016 out of the water and there's still at least a year of work to come. Oh my god. Adam, mate, you've written this well because I'm excited, man. Now that bit there is ideal because I was planning a video recently of like features I want to see added, or maybe how I would, or what I'd like to see in the next TEW in general. And one of the things I thought they needed to do is just completely build it up from the start again, just to get rid of some of the bits that, you know, are outdated, and that seems to be what they've done. And it looks like it's going to be a lot cleaner looking and a lot cleaner feeling as well. So. And while we're in this video, I'm going to cover the first feature that they've announced on the developer's journal. And then I might make this like a weekly or monthly thing, depending on, you know, how often they release new updates. So yeah, let's get into feature 1. So playing as child companies. A new addition to the game is the ability for the user to play as the owner or booker of another promotion's child company. This mode works the same way as running a normal company, except the player must deal with several extra challenges. Primarily, that the parent can send workers there for developmental, call workers up, fire workers, and has the final say on all matters, which means they can, for example, block certain actions that the child company wishes to take. They also have the advantage of not having to worry about finances, although the parent is not going to be happy if the financial performance is overly poor. And the child company has the option of whether to proactively sign talent or just to utilise the workers that are provided by the parent. However, they have no power to fire workers who have been sent there on developmental contracts. So must be very careful about roster management, especially when it comes to negative influences. This mode is unrestricted in that the player can run a child company regardless of whether the parent is human or AI controlled. If the parent is AI controlled, they will always give the child a warning ahead of time if they plan to call someone up, giving them the time to switch titles and do a farewell match, etc. If the player is human controlled, then it is entirely up to that player. They are free to do things without warning if they wish. That's pretty cool. And that sounds good to me. That is probably the #1 feature that I wanted to see added, and I would imagine it's probably the most requested for Adam as well, so I'm glad he's finally got around to putting it in. So you can sign contracts yourself, I believe, and it looks like your parent can sign contracts for you and send them to your developmental. You also can't fire talent, only the parent, I think. That's what I'm gathering from it. Also, you get warned once someone's being called up, which is ideal. I think maybe something that could be added is a call-up date of where maybe an influx of talent might be called up to the main roster, maybe the night after WrestleMania, for example. Maybe that will stop the game from messing you up right at the start. Say you start as NXT, and then on day 2, WWE call up everybody, and then you're like, all right, I've only got a month with these guys, but maybe if it would be a bit more realistic if you had up until the end of WrestleMania, but with the odd call up in between, obviously, but nothing too major up until like a certain point of the year. Maybe that would be something worth looking into. But yeah, I think that's an extremely exciting feature, and I cannot wait to play it. And I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that'll be starting NXT saves straight away as soon as the game comes out. And also let me know in the comments any features that you think should be added to TEW 2020, and I might do a video about it and highlight some of the best comments. But yeah, anyway, let's end the video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and subscribe for more TEW 2020 and TEW 2016 content. And until next time, peace.